Have you ever been watching a movie and wished an AI could just watch it with you? And I don't mean a 2-minute clip, I mean the whole thing from start to finish and actually understand what's going on in real time. Well, that's not science fiction anymore. A brand new model called StreamingVLM is here, and it might just change everything. So today, we're going to tear it down and see exactly how they pulled it off.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off by digging into why AIs are just, well, terrible at watching long videos. Then we'll meet our hero, StreamingVLM, and uncover its secret weapon, a really clever memory trick. After that, we'll see how it's trained, watch it go head-to-head with the competition, and finally, we'll talk about why this is such a huge deal for the future of AI.
So, let's get right into it. What is the big problem here? I mean, why is it so ridiculously hard for an AI to just process a video that doesn't have an end? The thing is, most models we have today just aren't built for that kind of never-ending stream of information. They either completely forget what happened a minute ago, or they just crash and burn.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's so wildly inefficient. To figure out what's happening right now, the AI has to go back and reprocess everything that's ever happened before it, every single time. That's a massive bottleneck, and it makes true real-time understanding pretty much impossible.
Okay, so let's look at the two classic ways people have tried to solve this. Method 1 is full attention. Basically, you try to stuff the entire video into the AI's memory at once, and the result? Crash. It just runs out of memory. So method 2 tries a sliding window, chopping the video up into little pieces. The problem there? The AI gets total amnesia. It has no idea what happened in the last chunk, losing all the plot and context.
So the logical next step, and you're probably thinking this too, is what if we overlap the windows a little? To give the AI some context. And it's a good thought, but it creates a whole new headache. It is just way, way too slow. The AI has to reprocess and recalculate all that overlapping info, which completely kills any hope of it working in real time. So yeah, we've been kind of stuck. Until now.
And this is where our hero, StreamingVLM, makes its grand entrance. Now, this isn't just some tiny tweak on an old idea. No, this is a whole new way of thinking, a framework built from scratch to finally give us stable, real-time video understanding that could, theoretically, just go on forever.
So, what is this thing really? Well, StreamingVLM is a special kind of model that cracks the infinite video problem by being incredibly smart about its memory. See, it doesn't try to remember everything. It just remembers the right things. And it does that by brilliantly managing something called its KV cache, which you can just think of as its short-term working memory.
And that brings us to the secret sauce. The real innovation here isn't about throwing more memory at the problem, it's about using that memory way more intelligently. StreamingVLM has this fantastic strategy for figuring out what's important enough to keep and what it can safely let go of.
Okay, check out this 4-step process. It's so cool. First, it keeps what are called attention sinks. Think of this like the first scene of a movie. It's the crucial context you always need to remember. Second, it keeps a really long history of all the recent text, like what people are saying. Third, it only keeps a short bit of recent video, like just the last 16 seconds of action. And finally, step 4, it gets rid of all the older visual stuff that just isn't relevant anymore.
And that right there, that's the stroke of genius. It's an asymmetric approach. The model basically figured out that the big picture story, the long-term context, usually lives in the words and dialogue. Meanwhile, what's most important visually is what's happening right now. This lets it hang on to the plot without getting bogged down by every single frame from an hour ago. It's brilliant.
All right, so you've got a model with this amazing memory strategy, but how do you actually teach it to think that way? It's a real chicken and egg problem, right? You can't just feed it infinitely long videos during training because you'd run right back into those same memory issues we talked about.
The solution they came up with is just so elegant. Instead of one long video, you train the model on tons and tons of short video clips that just slightly overlap. And by doing that, the AI naturally learns to pay attention to what's happening now while holding on to a little context from the clip right before it. It perfectly mimics the exact skill it needs to handle a live infinite stream. So simple and so smart.
Now, to get this to work, you need the right kind of data, a lot of it. The team put together a massive pipeline. They took over 6,000 hours of sports games, used a tool called WhisperX to get all the live commentary, and then, get this, they used a powerful model like GPT-4 to clean up and perfect all of that text. The result was this incredible data set of video perfectly synced with second-by-second narration.
So the theory is great. The training method is clever, but let's be real. The only thing that matters is, does it actually work? I mean, how does this thing actually perform out in the wild against the heavy hitters like, say, GPT-4o?
The answer is a huge, resounding yes. Oh yeah, it works. They put it in a head-to-head battle, judging its live sports commentary on 2-hour videos against GPT-4o. And StreamingVLM was picked as the winner an incredible 66% of the time. That is not a small margin.
And this chart, wow, it just puts that win into perspective. I mean, just look at the competition. The base model, without all this special training and memory stuff, it wins basically never. A standard sliding window approach gets chosen about 16% of the time. That 66% win rate for StreamingVLM, that's not just an improvement, that is a total game changer.
And here's what that performance actually looks like. 3.5 minutes into a match, StreamingVLM is giving you this perfect, context-aware commentary. It knows who the players are, it knows what's at stake, it totally understands the moment.
Now compare that to a regular model trying to use that full attention method. Just a few minutes in, its brain is completely overloaded and it just breaks. It starts repeating the word shot over and over and over. This is such a perfect illustration of the absolute train wreck that StreamingVLM manages to avoid.
And here's the really cool part. All this special training didn't just turn it into a world-class sports commentator, it actually made the model fundamentally better at understanding video in general. When they tested it on standard video Q&A benchmarks, it blew its original base model out of the water, especially on tasks that needed it to think in real time.
So let's zoom out for a second. What does all of this actually mean for us? Because, let's be honest, this is about way more than just getting better sports commentary. This is a fundamental leap in how AI can see and interact with the world around it.
We're talking about moving on from AI that just looks at static pictures or short little clips. We are finally heading towards an AI that has something like a continuous stream of consciousness, an AI that can perceive the world with the same kind of persistence and memory that we humans do.
And the potential applications here are just staggering. I mean, think about it. Self-driving cars that remember the entire trip, not just the last traffic light. Robots that can actually remember and complete long, complicated tasks around your house. An AI assistant that can watch a 3-hour lecture for you and give you a perfect summary. This is the kind of future that this technology is starting to unlock.
So I want to leave you with this question to think about. If you had an AI that could see everything and remember everything, what is the very first thing you would ask it to do for you? Let me know your craziest, most creative ideas down in the comments. Thanks so much for tuning in.